So today I want to talk about Belial and my experience with him. He is not spirit to be taken lightly, and since there is a lot of slander about him these days, a lot of people are slandering him and trying to present him in extremely negative light. It is my duty as somebody who has positive experience with Belial to speak my positive experience, but also to speak about one really important thing while working with this force, or this spirit, or this qliphothic entity. You need to hold your word. Lying Belial can be a death sentence. If you have pact with Belial, this demon king will be really brutal with you. I made a pact with Belial, in which I swore an oath. That I will be magician who will work only with Belial for short period of time, and I broke my oath. And what Belial did is he influenced my health and worsened it until I called Belial and corrected my mistakes. As soon as I respected my covenant and corrected my mistakes, my health not only got back to normal, but got much better than it was before he ruined my health. So he not only forgave me for my bad behavior, but he also rewarded me for being honest enough to admit my mistake and continue forward. But there is one more thing you need to know if you work with the Demon King Belial. He is force which values character, which values strong will and resistance to authority. When he first introduces himself to sorcerer, he will purposefully try to push the sorcerer under pressure to see will sorcerer resist. If sorcerer resists, then he will reward the sorcerer. But if sorcerer failed this trial, he will break the sorcerer in a way, and it will be really traumatic. So when you work with Belial, especially when you first approach him, and especially if you are male, which plans to work seriously with him, you need to have character and strong will. He is a little bit different to females, I will talk about it later. But here is my first experience with Belial. First two experiences. First time I called him, he tried to possess me. I tried to perform evocation, but instead of coming outside of me, he entered my flesh. And his presence became more intense with every passing second. And I became aware that I am losing control. But I resisted, and I told him that if he wants to defeat me and if he wants to overtake me, I won't give up without the fight. And I focused my willpower, and he definitely didn't back down. He didn't left my body at that moment, at that right, but he smiled within me. I saw large laughter within my head. I heard large giggling, loud giggle, and he indeed changed the density of his energy and adapted invocation to the amount of energy I can handle. So it was some kind of a test. He tried to test me. Another time I had experience with Belial is I called him to get something done. And he indeed did it. He helped me in one really interesting case. So I called him because one occult author scammed me. I paid him for the book and he didn't deliver it. I called Belial to solve the problem. And not only I got my money back, but I also got more money back from the person than what he owed me. So Belial really delivered well, he nailed it. So Belial indeed can be tricky to sorcerer because he tested the sorcerer. But once you hold your word and work with Belial with character and attitude, he will hold his word, and it will be a really beneficial partnership. There are also many other cases in which I worked with Belial and had enormous results. He is also really good at liberating the individual from Judeo-Christian programming. Thanks, and this is enough for tonight. Hail Belial!